Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high-level StarCraft 2 game. Today, in the bottom left, spawning as the blue Zerg player playing for Team TvZ Gaming. It's our main man Solar. And the top right, spawning as the red Terran player playing for Team Liquid. It's Clem. Solar versus Clem. Clem's been struggling a little bit lately in the TvZ matchup. Specifically with the Lurker unit. He's been having a difficult time, but also actually a little bit earlier in the game. You see him sometimes die against some Ling Bane pressure, or at least struggle against these Ling run bys. For a long time, he always opted for these early mine styles. In the past few weeks, in the past month and a half, there has been a small change there. Perhaps a little more tank usage, of course, makes you a little bit safer against these early Ling run bys when you're doing either the first or the second move out with either 2 or 4 medevacs. So Clem just making sure that he gets into that mid game a little safer, and he still likes to transition into those mid game mines, of course, depending on the situation. First of all, though, let's take a look at these openers. The opener is the most important part of the beginning of the game. And the follow-up is going to be the most important part. The second part of the game would be considered the mid game, I guess. Reaper's gonna try to deal a little bit of the damage, but as this is being played on, well, I can't really say, but either west or central, there's going to be a little bit of ping involved, which makes the Reaper micro just a tiny tad harder. We also see that he doesn't really want to commit anywhere with this Reaper, because Clem would love to get that first creep tumor. So you see the second queen coming down as well. Clem tries to go in for the dive, does not get it. So both queens are down. 6 links as well built at the start here. So perhaps a little bit of over-investment out of Solar into that Reaper defense. But rather be safe than sorry, I guess. The first creep tumor is down. Not a single link has been lost. The map is 2k atmosphere here. And it's a relatively large map. Makes it difficult for the Terran to put on a lot of pressure in that early game. First 3 Overlords are moving into position as well outside of the creep. Making sure that he can spot Hellions with them. Looks to me like this is a standard triple CC opener. Second Marine is being built here for Clem. This looks a lot like a Viking start here. Because there's no tech lab yet. Oh, what? Okay. Not quite the case. Maybe a Hellbat all-in then? Or a Hellbat push? No, he'd require more Marines here. Very curious to see what Clem has planned. Because rather than doing anything useful with his barracks, he decided to build another Marine. This means that first tech lab is actually delayed by a fair amount. You're seeing a Raven opener. Okay, so he wanted more gas. Of course, no need to get a faster tech lab if you don't have the gas for that Raven yet. Raven openers are not super uncommon anymore. We have seen them being used a little bit more, but it's not the most common thing either, honestly. He tries to fake the cloak. I'm not quite sure if this worked out. I didn't quite see what Solar saw here. Wouldn't completely surprise me though. See both of these barracks being built off position. It's interesting, usually you see the factory lift and then the barracks being built on factory location. Instead we're gonna go up to 10 Hellions here. Wow. Clem really investing heavily into this early game. He's really keen on getting some damage here, as this is going to delay the initial Marine production. Usually this factory would be building its second reactor, and that would allow both of these barracks to start pumping Marines the moment that this factory gets the lift. 10 cars. 10 cars are out. That's the starting point that we're at over here. Reactor still going to get built. Of course, it's going to be delayed compared to what you usually get. Reactor takes 36 seconds to build. The barracks a little bit shorter. Actually, similar time, I believe. 1-1 here. On the way for both players. See, this works slightly quicker with that as well. There's the layers on the way. There's no single tumor in the main, which is a bit surprising. Usually you always like to have that, right? Connect that main to the natural. Get these upgrades rolling in the natural as well. That's nice. Baneling Nest. That's a late Baneling Nest. And the reason that Solar can do this is because he scouted the fact Or, well, he was aware of the fact that it was a triple CC, just by the Hellion timing. Hellions are delayed a little bit with triple CC compared to double gas before third CC. So can give you some tells here. Were some cars lost? No, we still have 10 cars. There's only 8 cars here, though. Where's the next two? Next two are just at home. So 8 cars on the map, 2 at home. We have a bunch of links, random... What are these guys doing? They are pretty lost. They are very lost, actually. They need to go back home, or they need to start dealing a little bit of damage on the other side of the map. It's going to be quite difficult, though, as there's 2 Hellions already in that third base location of Clem. Clem lifts up with 16 Marines, and as he does that, Solar runs in. What a absolutely picture-perfect timing. Runs into the main base with about 6-7 links as well. Gets, well, if he A moves, he would get a decent... Hello, can we get an A move, perhaps? Usually I'm not a huge fan of an A move, but here... Well, it's absolutely fantastic. At the same time, an auto turret in the main base will take out 2 drones. 11 workers lost for Clem. Good start here for Solar. Loses a bunch of links, but also takes out just a lot of the eco that Clem was trying to build up to. Now, it's not the biggest deal because Clem still is relatively close to that 60 SEV count, which he needs. He just pulls out of gas temporarily, and his mineral count will stay high. Might have some issues going into the mid game, getting that second factory though, getting those 2-2 upgrades at the same time as well. And that's a worry for the future though, as right now Solar most likely is going to be worried about the present moment. And oh, he should be worried about the present moment, my friends. He really should be, because this is a sizable army. Armory finishes up as well, which means that these Hellions will turn into Hellbats now. There's no centrifugal hooks yet. There's not that much creep either. There's still 1 mine in the back with target fire out of Clem. Of course, I don't expect anything different, anything else. Hellbats are getting split as well. Those weren't the greatest splits, and centrifugal hooks finishes up. Clem is going to get pushed back here. We'll need to start lifting. Loses a medevac. Yep. Solar with the proper target fire will take out that medevac. As a result, Clem is going to... is not going to be allowed to pressure as much anymore. Usually, of course, he's a huge fan of these double-pronged attacks. Second factory is up. No gas yet for the drilling claws. That's kind of a result of that early game, of course. Raven still in the main base. Or floating below the main base, I should say. Getting 4 more worker kills. These links are going to get spotted. They won't get cleaned up in time though. Clem getting ready to do just that. Supplies are, well, almost dead even at this point. You see these links moving towards the right side, perhaps to morph into Banes. That's exactly what they're going to be doing. Mine burrowing. Good scans. Nice pickup. Very clean. Mechanically so ridiculously clean. Good old Clem. These 3 Banelings are going to start moving in as well. +2 attack halfway done. +2 armor for Clem also on the way. But the upgrades are slacking behind Solar. Of course, partially because of that lower gas count in the early game. Not allowing him to get everything he wants. Medevac count is good now. We're at 7. The creep is looking kind of pathetic at this point, honestly. Without drilling claws, these mines should not be capable of doing very much. I think he just started it as just before he dropped. Raven at the same time is going to throw down an auto turret. Yep, here we go. It's kind of impressive that Clem hasn't F2'd a single time yet. That the Raven has been in the main base for an extremely long time. Another big run by being sent out here for Solar. Burrow's about to finish up as well. These mines are not going to get the connections that they need. And the Banelings will clean it up. Matter of fact, will get shot down by these queens. Clem now sees that the first Hydras are in production. Spire as a follow-up immediately here. That is a very odd decision. Perhaps just a Spire to clean up this Raven? Is that really what that Spire is for? No way, right? Oh, that's an F2. That is a huge F2. Look at that. That's a beautiful F2 even. Auto turret does get blasted down onto the ground. 26 workers going down though at the same time. I completely missed that. I think Clem also missed that. That's probably what the F2 was for. Still have a bunch of links burrowed here. Does get spotted by Clem. Double scans. We'll clean up all of these links, but worker count has depleted. Is going down. Not completely gone, but... what is this Spire doing here? That's the real question. Is that a misclick, perhaps? Lurker then is hotkey VD. Spire is VS. It wouldn't surprise me if that actually was a misclick. I wouldn't mind if he just builds like one Mura though to kill this Raven. This Raven has been very good. 11 kills on it total. Once again, Clem moving forward with a little bit of a Marine army. Way too many medevacs for this tiny army. There has to be a decently sized army somewhere else. Oh, see a couple of mine drops here, taking out workers. So Clem deals a blow here to Solar as well. Good control out of Solar. Solar really hasn't been hit in a big way yet by any of these mines. That's good to see. That really is good to see. Queen's now trying to move forward, spreading a little bit of creep as well. Muscular augments finishing up. +3 carapace really should be on the way soon. 92 workers here per Solar means that he should be getting plenty of money a minute to afford that carapace upgrade. I would almost say that the carapace upgrade is more influential in these fights than even +1 missile attacks would be. Especially once the Lurkers are out, of course. Lurkers already have very high damage. The range attack upgrades are good, but carapace is insanely important against these large marine counts that Clem is working with. Just now he's throwing down barracks 6, 7 and 8. Against marauders, honestly, the carapace upgrade's also great, of course. It is just really nice. Okay, you get a big pickup. Clem's going to have a powerful timing. If he can hit pre-Lurker here on the right side. I'm not quite sure if he can, though. So there's 9 Lurkers on the way already. No adaptive talents yet. These Lurkers are not in position either. I think this right side base, which is the 6th, by the way, is going to get taken out. This Raven, once again, is going to get a kill here. Or, well, a couple of kills. Up to 16 kills so far. I think majority of those are workers. One medevac goes down. And finally, we see a couple of mine hits that actually do matter. At the same time, though, we're just going to lose a base. So many medevacs with this army. One parasitic bomb. Can we get some micro? Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Okay. Medevac will take a fair amount of damage, but will survive in the end. At the same time, once again, Clem moving in, wants to snipe this hatchery. Gets a second hatchery in a mere 15, 20 seconds maybe? This is going to deal quite the blow here to Solar's eco. He's on 91 workers. Currently mining as much as Clem, who's on 64 workers. And it's not like Clem has an insane amount of orbital commands here, throwing down mules every second. Oh, Clem did not have the confidence there to stand still and just target these bad boys down. I think he could have gotten more out of that exchange if he felt a bit more confident in his marines there. I guess without the 3-3, you don't want to risk it. Now we're seeing +3 melee attack before carapace. That definitely is a mistake. Perhaps Solar believes that he already has the carapace, and that could be a very big deal. That actually could be a very big deal. Solar's going to lose 2 bases here at the same time. Oh my god, gets a Lurker Knight is up in the main. Now this is huge. I think if that doesn't happen, Clem is just pretty much winning the game right now. But with these Lurkers in the main base, the game kind of changes around. It switches up. This is a major issue here for Clem, who's going to be struggling mightily with these Lurkers. Dealing with these Lurkers, making sure that he can clean them up. The Nidus went down at a moment of no attention. There was no attention there for Clem. Clem was making sure that he was sniping a base, picking up his marines, didn't want to die to anything. This Liberator's getting a decent 12 kills already, 13 kills on this Lib. A couple of larvae also will end up going down. And I think Clem eventually will be capable of cleaning this up. And honestly, supply still is very close. You have a couple of extra barracks on the way here. Actually, we have 6 extra barracks on the way. So we're going up to 11 barracks right now. Do we have one? Oh, this needs to land. This needs to land ASAP. These barracks need to piss off. Hello? Can this barracks get lifted? Just let the CC land. I mean, this is ridiculous. This Nidus once again is gonna go down as well. Clem is not paying attention whatsoever. If these Lurkers just pop out, that would not... it's fine. It's barely fine. One more Lurker comes in. We have one more scan to deal with that as well. And now the Overseer gets taken out on top of that. First ghosts are in production. I believe these are the first ghosts. At least I haven't seen any yet. One ghost has died already. So this is the second batch of ghosts. The first one was the prototype. The prototype died. Probably coming out of the barracks over here. Nice prototyping. Solar has managed to kind of re-establish these bases. And he bought a lot of time for himself. Honestly, if Clem would have been capable of keeping on that continued pressure, Solar would have been in a world of trouble. But right now, I see some possibilities. I see some possibilities here for Solar. Once again, he's going for an aggressive Nidus. A very aggressive Nidus play. The mine count is still at 8. The ghost count is growing slowly, but surely. There's no sensor tower at the third base, which means that this Nidus is not going to get spotted until these lurkers burrow. Mine is going to get a hit on one of these lurkers. There's no overseer here at the same time, but I'm going for a big drop into the main base. Parasitic bomb is dealing a crap ton of damage. All of these medevacs solo, I actually think there's like 10 medevacs here, and there's maybe 20-25 marines or so. Maybe even less. Ghosts are going to jump into action. We'll take out all of these lurkers. Good trade there for Clem. Loses 7 workers, kills 3 lurkers though. And although Solar has 81 workers, he doesn't quite have the bases to saturate. There's a very high rate of unemployment. Or at least long distance mining. It's like a fake job basically. To make them feel a bit better about themselves. 4 drones. They were born to mine. There's no locations for them to mine, so you have to travel a very long road. Still a largely marine army here for Clem, by the way. 24, 25 marines. Let's have 11 ghosts as well. Not that many marauders. There's so many medevacs though. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of extra liberators being built. We finally do have that starport on the way. I think Clem agrees. He thinks to himself, well, a couple of liberators just to zone in this type of situation would be absolutely brilliant. That Nidus definitely should get taken out here. Forward scan out of Clem, does not want to get any surprises. Yep, a couple of these medevacs need to be split off towards that right side army, which is getting a little bit bruised and battered around. Not only because of the drug abuse by the marauders, but also just because the lurkers have dealt damage over time to these ghosts. And of course, Terran units don't have natural regeneration like the Zerg units do, which means that medevacs are an absolute necessity here. So it's going to start moving towards the far left side of the map. At least with this little Ling run by. I don't think this Ling should be capable of doing too much. 2 ghosts behind the depots will be capable of cleaning it up. 1 Viper with this army. I don't think there's enough mines. We're going to need to see way more mines here with this army. Way more mines to deal with the large Ling Bane count, because that's really the main issue here. It's the Ling Bane. It's not the lurkers anymore. Pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. Ooh. A little bit too late there, I think. Not quite sure if we got all of these ghosts. Now we get a couple of decent mine hits. Lurkers manage to move forward. This is why you need the mines usually to kind of zone out the Ling Bane, and then the ghost can snipe the lurkers if they try to burrow. But this didn't quite go the way it should. Another Nidus in the main base. Oh, Clem is not paying attention. Clem is not paying attention. And for the second time this game, at basically the exact same spot, Solar's going to enter the main base with a couple of lurkers, and this is an absolute disaster here. Absolute disaster for Clem once again. It is only 4 lurkers for now, but there's no liberators to help him out. You see still this starport producing without a reactor. At the same time, Solar's moving in, and he's going absolutely ham. Mines are going to get taken out. There's still 6 mines remaining on the map, but I have no clue where they are. Large army on the left side will not even catch these lurkers. Clem's going to start moving forward. Is there anything here defending? There's not. We're getting a semi-base trade scenario right now. Solar will be capable of attacking this. There's no planetary here, so nothing to fight off these lurkers, as the majority of the army was still in the main base. Clem will get a decent trade. Loses a full medevac though, trying to load up into the main base. A lot of these medevacs high on energy, low on health, and there's not that many units either. These marines will get a pretty decent trade against all of these links. Oh, you need to be so careful. Clem can't lose another medevac. You just don't have the units. Clem scans. He sees that that bottom right side base has been taken. And I think he also should be semi-aware that this base is taken. Another Nidus goes up into the main base. I think Clem will be put into an all-in position. Solar's expanding towards the 3 o'clock, which is technically Clem's base. Clem says, hey, you're not allowed to expand there. I know that I can take it right now, but you also can't. If I can't have my ice cream, you also can't have your ice cream. You have plenty of ice cream already, my friend. I still need some later on. Adrenal glands finally being researched as well. Still only in +2 range as well, 22 minutes into the game. It's a little bit interesting here. Out of Solar, Lurker's gonna get sniped down. Nidus will get taken out before anything big will happen here. 47 workers against 81, and this sounds weird, but that might actually be the saving grace here for Clem. The fact that he's so low on a worker count that he can max out with an insanely strong army. And as the gas count for Solar isn't actually that large, Solar really needs to get this rich Vespine geyser going, by the way. Probably needs to start taking some gases here as well, because he just doesn't have the gas required to rebuild an army. 57 Banes though. 12 mines on the map. I've seen Clem mines do some wonderful things before. I really have. Army supply 130 against 118. More mines are moving forward. There's a lot of mines here at home. These mines need to get to the front because otherwise these ghosts are going to be a little bit too vulnerable. There's no mines to run back towards. Snipes are being cast. Mines with the quick burrows. Good splits out of Clem. We'll get some decent hits with these mines. Now the ghost going for snipes on these overseers as well. There's no cloak for the ghost though. See a cheeky lift here on these orbital commands. That's of course the nice thing if you don't have a planetary. Same time though, a Nidus, every single time Solar sees that Clem is busy at a different place, he says, okay, you're busy on the left side, I'll just throw a Nidus into your main base, let's see what happens. And so far, almost every single time he tried to get a Nidus up, he managed to get a Nidus up. That's not a good sign here for Clem. Gas is now being taken for Solar on this rich Vespine geyser. A couple of links are being unburrowed. Solar's playing so ridiculously fast today. Oi, 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 oi. 6 more Lurkers on the way, 12 more Banes, 24 more Links as well. Fantastic plays. Absolutely fantastic plays here. Out of the Korean Zerg. And it's just crushing Clem right now. There's nothing that Clem can do to win this game, I think. The mines have disappeared largely. At least they're not with this army. They're all kind of sprawled around the map, but not at bases where it matters. Still no cloak on these ghosts, which means that eventually these Lurkers, these Banelings and these Links will clean this up. 94, 86 supply left for Clem. Couple of snipes go down, but there's just too much income for Solar. GG gets called and Solar wins this game here on 2K Atmosphere. It's great. A banger of a comeback, honestly. I really feel like if that Nidus doesn't go up that first time around, that Clem is just going to straight up walk over Solar. Equal bases, lots of momentum, not that much creep either. Solar lacking a bit in the creep, but in the end, Solar good enough to take this game home. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you for a new video next time. Bye-bye.